Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monaco Race Week. I'm very excited. It's race week again. I got this cool new jersey recently. It's a Norris jersey. But I think it's a very cool jersey and I will be wearing it to Lando stand in July. But let's get into my predictions for race weekend. Obviously it's Monaco, so it is very much qualifying is the most important part of the weekend and also your pit stops. I don't think Monaco will be any better this year with the new regulations. Even if there are more overtakes happening with these new regulations, it doesn't really mean anything if it's impossible to overtake at Monaco. I don't think it's going to make any difference. So I'm not saying it's going to be the most interesting race, but at least it's a race, So we have to count our luck. I have said that for pole it will be George Russell, just because I think Monaco is a very hard track to qualify at. It's a very skilled track. One wrong move and you're in the wall, kind of thing. And obviously Antonelli is very, very skilled, but I would say Russell just has more experience. He's driven around Monaco so many times before. I just think he'll have this slight edge on Antonelli at this track, and also because he knows that qualifying is basically the result for the race. If you think about it, with Monaco, he's going to have that extra motivation. So I think George will get it this weekend. And then I said, obviously, that he will also win, because most of the time, if you get pole in Monaco, you're going to win, because it is kind of like a see if anybody can do anything in the first lap, and if they can't, it's literally pit stop, second change, the order of the drivers. So I think if George manages to get pole, he'll manage to stick it, because his starts are pretty good, and I think especially when it comes to Monaco, his start will be good enough that no McLaren or Ferrari will get in front of him. Then I said P2 will be Kimi, because I think the Mercedes are always going to be close together. Kimi's very, very good at qualifying, so unless he makes a mistake in one of the sessions that causes him to go in a wall or not be able to qualify, I think he will qualify P2, and then he will manage to keep that P2 during the race. And then I said Leclerc will finish off the podium. That might be me hoping, but also I think Charles is just very good at this track. He has the worst luck for sure, but he is also so good at this track when he puts it all together and his car's actually working for him. And I just think he's always going to have extra motivation at Monaco and Monza. So I'm very excited to see what he can do. The Ferrari car definitely looked like the third fastest right now, but I think if Charles can put it all together, then he can get it. If not Charles, I think it will definitely be Lando, because he won Monaco last year. Lando seems quite comfortable around Monaco, and I feel like once you win Monaco once, you get more confident around the track. So I would say either Charles or Lando will finish off the podium. Then I have a couple of surprise predictions for the weekend. I said that an experienced driver will crash during quali, like Q1, Q2, Q3, whatever it is, just during qualifying as a whole, an experienced driver will crash, and it will be a kind of crash that means they can't continue to qualify. So it will be a fully in the wall, they'll need to set out a safety car, red flag, the qualifying session. And when I say experienced driver, I mean it can't be Arvid Lindblad, because he's a rookie this year, and it can't be a rookie from last year. So the people I'm not counting as experienced drivers are Arvid. I would say Liam, I wouldn't count him as an experienced driver. So Arvid, Liam, Ollie, Gabriel, Kimi. I feel like I'm missing someone. But just any of the rookies, or last season's rookies, I would count Colapinto as a rookie as well. So anyone other than them, if they go into the wall, I'm going to count that. I think if it is going to be anybody, unfortunately, I do have to say Albon, just because he has really bad luck with stuff like that, or Stroll or Alonso, because their car is so unpredictable, so bad, and I just wouldn't be surprised to see an Aston Martin in the wall at some point during this weekend. I don't really see anybody else going in the wall. Then another surprise prediction, I said if there'll be no crashes during the race. I think if we get any crashes this weekend, and when I'm talking about crashes, I mean driver on driver crashes or driver error crashes, not like their car has an issue and that causes them to go into wall, because I would call them that like a mechanical DNF, even if they have like crashed because of it. I just think all of the driver error crashes will happen during quali, because they're so on the limit at Monaco during quali, and then because you can't really overtake during the race, there shouldn't really be any reason for crashes, so I just don't think there will be. And then I said that someone will cut the I'm not sure, cut the chicane and get a penalty like George did last year, when I think Alex was holding him up to try to get Carlos some points, and George just cut the chicane entirely and got a 5-second penalty for that. I can see someone doing that again this year. I think if you think they can get 5 seconds down the road, so that 5-second penalty won't matter to them, I say why not? Like, it does seem kind of like a cheat code, but it will be very interesting to see, because it was really funny to watch it happen, and I just think it would be funny to see again. But if it does happen again, the FIA might set out more strict rules on it next year, so we'll see. Then my last my last surprise prediction, and I'm not trying to manifest this, but I have said that Ferrari will mess up a pit stop, just because I feel like we haven't had a complete Ferrari fuck up this year so far. I know it was a bit dodgy in their strategy. It was either the first race or the second race of the season, but I just think we haven't had like a full Ferrari fuck up right now, and it's Monaco, which means it means a lot to Charles and it means a lot to Ferrari. And I just think when it comes to races like that, they have the worst luck and they end up messing something up. And the only thing you can really mess up in Monaco during the race is the pit stop, and the pit stop is so much more important in Monaco just because you can't really overtake on track. So I am going to say that Ferrari are going to mess up all the pits, not all of them, one of the pit stops. But I have also said that Charles will end up on the podium, so hopefully it won't affect him that much, or unfortunately it might be Lewis's pit stop who's messed up, but hopefully neither of that happens. Hopefully we get some racing, maybe some overtaking, but I know that's quite a tall order for Monaco. But I'm just happy to see cars on the track again, and I know we have like quite a few races, not in a row I don't think, but I don't remember, but we don't have a big break until summer break again, so that's exciting. It's good to be like, I feel like, back into the rhythm of this season, because it's just, this season has kind of felt a bit like a fever dream so far, just because it's been so spread apart, the new regulations, like the amount of mechanical DNFs and stuff, and also being a McLaren fan, the amount of times McLaren is like fucked up. Like Lando and Oscar didn't even start the second race of the season, and then obviously last weekend, not the week, Canada race weekend, neither of them finished in the points. Lando didn't even finish at all. So it's all been a bit of a fever dream. Having a teenager leading the championship is crazy, especially because so many people were betting on George. So yeah, this season has been wild so far, but also so spread out that it feels surreal. So I'm excited to get back into it. So that's all for my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will be posting a video reviewing the race and going over my predictions, obviously after the race, and I do a predictions and review every race weekend, and I also do some random book videos and F1 journal with me videos and stuff like that, just like all of my different hobbies in one place. But thank you so much for watching, thank you for being here, I will see you around.